Welcome to another episode of Chasing Mysteries Gardens. I'm Rebecca, and along with my wife Karen, we are on a mission to renovate and rejuvenate our little piece of earth. It is a beautiful, sunny, no clouds in the sky kind of day, and I want to take you on a tour of the garden. We have planted about 99% of everything that we have. There's still 1.5 gardens out front that Karen is going to do, but for the majority, everything is planted in the ground, and now we just get to enjoy and watch it grow. So come along with me on this adventure as we do our June garden tour. So I'm very excited to show you that we have peaches. I don't know if they're going to survive. These little ones just kind of, if I just even barely touch it, oh, see, that one's gonna stay. But I touched two and they both just fell off. I don't know if it's because of all the rain we've had or just because it's young. I don't know. And then our pear tree has nothing but leaves, but that's okay. Here is the corner garden. Karen split this hosta in two, and I'll show you where she put the other one, and it's humongous. She planted all kinds of little flowers in here. These are daisies that are going to bloom soon. This, I'm not sure what it's called, but that's starting to bloom. And this plant is delightful. Again, don't know the names. It attracts so many bees, which is good because we don't have a beehive around, so. I believe this is Black-Eyed Susan, and it has just gotten enormous since we put it in. And this year we got a foxglove, which is attracting the bees as well. What's nice about this garden is in the early spring everything is all yellow, and in the late spring, early summer, everything's all purple. This is so pretty. It got so big this year. And now we have two globe. Come over here. Here's one of many of Karen's pots. I love this flower because it feels like paper. Can you hear that? That's not dry, it just feels like paper. And my clematis that it takes over the corner. And then this garden is one that Karen has to do. So all of this ground cover here is like a clover, I think. And it's got these really little yellow flowers. I think it's beautiful. Karen sees it as weeds. So her plan is to still rip all of this out. And we have not quite decided what to put in there, but when she gets it all pulled out and amended, which I believe is happening this weekend, then we'll go to the store and decide what we want. She did put a couple of decorative pots, which are getting dug up. These back here are Gladiolas. Oh my gosh. So this one, they ripped the flower right out. These squirrels are really starting to become a nuisance. So I'm going to plant that one in the hopes that it comes back. I do have some Squirrel Deterrent coming in the mail today. It's a spearmint or peppermint ball, kind of like a moth ball, and you put it in a bag and you put them near your garden beds. And squirrels do not like the smell, so they stay away. Hopefully that will help. So over here, this giant plant is the other half of that hosta from the front. And the picture, the camera just does not do it justice. It is just ginormous. And other hostas and flowers. That is our transplanted lilac bush. And the flowers did not bloom very well, but the leaves are coming back, so I think it's going to be okay. And then over here, we're going to try to plant zucchini. So these are all zucchini. And then over there, where is it? Right there. That's a pumpkin. So we're going to try to plant them in the ground this year. We have not had any success in pots or in raised beds or anything. Karen planted these really pretty flowers. I think they're like an iris. She had a bunch of bulbs. And she just planted them all over the yard. So we've just got all these little random flowers all over. Daylilies are starting. This is the third year for this rhubarb, and it's just not doing very well. I think it needs a sunnier area. More daylilies. So these grasses are just out of control, so we're going to pull these out as well. Most of it is dead, so it's growing out of its confines. So this tree right here, I don't know what kind it is, but it is becoming problematic because for the first year ever, we now have aphids in our yard. So a couple of weeks ago, we noticed that on the deck, we started getting these white spots all over the deck and all over the furniture and all over the floor of the deck. And then it was sticky. And we're like, well, the neighbor is emptying his pool, maybe some chlorine splashed. But it lasted well beyond when he was done draining his pool. So then I started noticing that the leaves of the trees were starting to look like they were being eaten. And I'm like, what is happening here? So I took a closer look, and sure enough, you can't really see them to the naked eye, but let me see if I can get this. If you look, you can see, like in this area, how the leaf has kind of curled over and it's turning brown. There's a good example right there. Boop, that leaf right there. It's kind of curled over and turning brown. If you unfold that, aphids just fall out. So I looked them up on what to do because I don't want them in my garden. I don't want them eating my plants. So I learned that there are hundreds of varieties of aphids. This particular one has, they're little black bugs with wings, and they so far are staying on the tree. I have seen a couple on some of my pepper plants. So I come out every day and I check the bottom of my plants. And when it stops raining, because it's been raining a lot, I'm going to spray all these with neem oil. But I've also been noticing all these little wasp type flies. Those actually eat the aphids, which is good. So the sticky stuff, the white dots and the sticky stuff that you see on the deck and furniture is called honeydew, and it's what the insects secrete when they're eating the leaves. So then you can also get an ant problem, which I am starting to see more and more ants, because especially on the deck, because they like to eat that honeydew. Now, it's rained quite a bit in the last 2 days, so it's washed a majority of that off the deck, but it's still there. Last weekend I scrubbed the deck and it came back. So I'm hoping, I don't know when it ends or if it ends. So what I have learned from the internets, everything I could read about aphids. So they lay their eggs on the trees and then they stay dormant over the winter and then hatch in the spring, and that's why you see an influx of them in the springtime. So I don't know where they came from. They probably blew in from somebody else's garden. Why they're only in this one tree, I don't know. I'm hoping that they don't spread to other trees. We are having the bottom of the tree sprayed, but I don't know if that's going to reach to the tippy top. So there's many things that you can do to try to fix this or help it. And you can release ladybugs, you can release praying mantis. Those both feed off of aphids. They eat a ton of aphids in their lifetime. The problem with that is keeping them in the tree because they have wings and they fly away. So if you can get a ladybug house, make sure they have a source of water, make it inviting for them to stay. Hopefully they'll stay and eat and eat and eat. I'm just keeping an eye on all the peppers, all the squash, the cucumbers. I did see some on the squash the other day. They were the tiny little green ones that you expect to see on squash. It was only on one of the plants, so that was good. I am keeping an eye on the tomatoes and the rose bushes. Those are attacked by a different kind of aphid. So I'm doing everything that I can to keep them off my young plants, to try to give them a chance at life. This is very not something I've ever had to deal with before. I didn't ever expect it. It's one of those things that just comes out of the blue and, oh hey, what are you gonna do about it? So I've been learning what I can. I've been trying to do preventative stuff on my plants that exist, and short of cutting the tree down, there's not really much I can do to reach the top of the tree. So that is my life with aphids. Here is the side garden. new pots for the shed. I am so happy, and I guess I should have done this video sooner, that both of the peonies bloomed this year. So this one is pink, and they're pretty decent. And then this one was white. So pretty. This is along the side of the deck. And this here and over there, whoops, those are more of that yellow flower that's out front that are just starting to bloom. My other clematis, the dark purple one. Our other giant. Uh-oh. My carrots fell off the deck. Probably gonna eat the greens and throw those away. Little rose bush. More lilac. So this is where that grass used to be. Don't want to get too close because there is at least one bird inside that yellow one. And then there's also two little birds inside this barn house. They've built nests, and I hope that maybe we get some babies. I saw robins flying in this tree earlier with stuff in their beaks, but I don't see a nest anywhere. These are my Hungarian wax peppers, and I cut the top off of all four of these, and they have just exploded in leaves down here. So I'm hoping that the plants become bushier with more fruit-bearing branches, and we get more fruit. This is my Loganberry bush. I thought it was completely dead, but it popped out of the dirt, which made me happy. And then we have raspberries, small blueberry. That actually looks like the birds have eaten the unripe berries off of. And then over here we have my other blueberry, which I don't think is going to make it. I don't know if it's root bound or if I put too much fertilizer in there or what happened, but nothing came of it this year, which makes me sad. Here, these are bell peppers. These are my garlic chives. And then this one is waiting for my jalapenos to be mature enough to plant outside. Lavender, parsley, more onions with a hidden pepper inside. Here are my radishes, but I don't know if I'm going to actually get radishes because the stems, I thought that the radish grew from here, but they are really out of the ground. I think they were just reaching for the sun too much. And I'm not going to get any actual, I could be wrong, but they've been in these pots for 20 days, and that's how long it's supposed to take to get a radish. So, I don't know, might just have to eat the greens. Here is this year's Dee Dee's garden. I've got some vining plants that are good for shade some lettuce, and the impatiens, because those are good for shade, because I'm going to leave it up here in this corner. Nothing really did very well last year in the sun. So, and we've got my cut and come again lettuce, which is coming again. So I need to cut again. Here's my cilantro and dill. Some of it anyway. Here's the garbage garden. This honeysuckle just went crazy this year. You could see all the petals on the ground. And all the ferns. So this baby fern is doing this really cute thing where all the leaves, individual leaves, are curled up. I never noticed that about them when they unfurl, how they're still curled up like that. Veggie Garden 1. So we have peas, and they are finally giving me peas. Little baby peas. So there's not many on there, but I'll take them. Got a bunch of spinach, Swiss chard. Those are garbanzo beans. And then over here, we've got my garlic, which is actually starting to get their scapes. So once those curl a little bit more, start to grow up again, I'll cut those and planning on garlic scape pesto and some garlic scape spread, which is made with cannellini beans. We have kale, onions, which are doing great. Some of them are doing great, some of them not so much. It's hard to really see. Then we have 4 Sans Marzana tomato plants. Oh my. This one is touching the ground. I'm just going to take it right off. So you don't want your leaves touching the ground because then it can spread disease. But they look clean, no bugs. Oh, wait. There might be one right there. It's so minuscule. Sorry. Shoot. So one way that you can tell is if you hold the leaves up to the sun and you see a shadow, then there's something on there. The rest of them look clean. I know that's really hard to do on when it's on the plant, but. And then all of these in here are red onions, and the squirrels are getting at those as well. Yay. Asparagus. Potatoes. Oh my, oh my, oh, what is happening here? Oh, these are mushrooms. I thought it was like a baby bird egg, but it's a mushroom coming up. It's just, nope, they're coming up in all the pots actually. Weird. I got this soil fresh out of bags. This is a pumpkin. Now let's head over to the main garden. What is happening? These squirrels are driving me crazy. So we have, these are pole beans. And then we have bush beans, I planted over 52 seeds in here, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants. So I planted more. There's 2 more coming up over there, but that's it. Very disappointed in the seeds I bought. So I bought some more, and we're going to try again. I really want bush beans this year. They are the stringless kind, so here is more pole beans with the foliage eaten off of one of the plants. Oh my gosh. Here we have this is a butternut squash, supposedly, and you can see, you can see little baby nub. So hopefully this has not opened all the way yet. So I don't think it's been pollinated as of yet. The leaves look clean. I did spray these because this is the plant where I saw the actual aphids on it. And then all around I planted dill, but it's not doing too good here. More squash. More squash. Then on this side we have, these are all pickling cucumbers. So this half I bought as starts, and this half I put in as seeds. And then these are Maker More, I believe is what they're called. Here's the 1% we haven't planted yet. We've got some creeping thyme that's going to go in a front garden, I think. We have rosemary that's going to go around one of the fruit trees. We have basil that's going to go around one of the fruit trees. These, I'm not sure what this is called, little purple flower. And then over here are my pepper plants that I grew from seed, and I'm so proud of them, but I do wish they might be a little too hot here in the sun. I'm trying to harden them off. They're still a little small. I may have done this a little soon, but I was just so excited and so anxious. So all these little ones are the hot peppers, and these bigger ones are bell peppers, which I don't really need more bell peppers, but we'll see what can grow. Please grow, my little pretties. It is about at least 10, if not 20 degrees cooler in this shade. And it feels so delightful. Well, that was our short-ish journey around the garden for the month of June. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more, because we will be doing videos. We will do garden tours every month. We will do kitchen videos, canning videos. You can watch our squash grow and our cucumbers and whatever else I can think of, and see if the aphids go away. I really hope they do. I don't want a summer of stressful thinking about aphids, but you gotta do what you gotta do. We might have our problems, but we'll find a solution and solve it. And if we can't solve it, we live with it and be happy and enjoy what we do have. And as always, Suki Suki. Love the earth, love yourself, love each other. Till next time.